Why do people win in life and other people lose? This is a question. This is a question. And I think he's going to answer a lot from his perspective. It's a reaction video on Kevin Samuels. Players win and losers lose. And my question is, topic is this: why do people win? Why do the people that's willing to play win and the people that's not willing to play lose? Is this inherently in the mindset? Is it the losers lose and the players win? Or is it something different inherently? Let's find out. Let's react to this video with Kevin Samuels, see his reasons for it. Okay, without further ado, let's go get into this.
Yeah, buddy. I like this. Getting ready for tonight's live stream. By the way, if you're tuning in, and make sure you hit the like button or the dislike button. I don't care which one. Just do something when you come in. Tonight's live stream, I'm going to do it about MGTOW and why it is necessary. MGTOW is necessary for a lot of different reasons. What up, Clifton? How are you? There's just a lot of misinformation out there. And I want to clear up several things for guys who are, red pill just used to be called being a man. That's what it really comes down to. MGTOW was a response, as BGS said it best, but it's necessary. What's going on? But I do want to talk about this whole thing about what next. I'm going to tell you right now. Well, I don't care what you think, women, gynocentrism, all these other things, they aren't the enemy. The real problem is whiny crybaby men, simps, white knights, and manginas. Because what it comes right down to is life is a game. And the winners the winners aren't the ones complaining. It's the losers. Yeah, if you're always in somebody's comment section, hating on women with your blank ass avatar. Look, if you don't, when I look at a comment, and if I see just an initial and I don't see your picture, I'm going to assume, especially if you're a woman, you're fugly. But if you're a dude and you don't have a picture and you on some irate over the top stuff, I'm just going to assume you're a loser. Because losers don't complain. Let me tell you why losers don't complain. Because they just lost the game. They just lost that point. They didn't lose the war. See, players straight up win. Players win, 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 win. I've always been a player. And that don't mean a pimp player. That means I play the game. Look here, black men. We took an L in slavery. We've taken L's with our women. So what? Read your history. Plenty of other men better than you or me have lost throughout history. Suck that shit up. Have I ever been a pimp? Have I ever been a pimp player? Go check my videos. That's been well documented, of course.
Okay, guys. He's a little bit off the rail, a little bit there, but this Kev Samuels' approach to his content, and I respect it. But what he's saying is like all do slavery where people was in African blacks was enslaved. There was a period where but there was some winners in there because that was the greatest society at that time. Slavery was legit here. It was the way of life back then for almost over a couple hundred years, or not longer. But there was winners even back then. It was people understand how the way it looked and how it worked out in certain environments. And you'd be surprised how many, people back then had a lot. But nevertheless, he's talking about winners and losers in life, in the business world, and sports, and entertainment, and academia, and in society in general. Are you a winner or are you a loser? You have to define that for yourself. And winners win. Players and any performers, top level elite, they're gonna win. They're gonna find a way to win. Losers just, they lost. They're moving on, and that's a battle. You have battles, but then you have to necessarily lose the war. What he's saying is that in life, you lose the war when you pass, when you move on to another plane of existence. While you down here, you in the war, you in the game, as he say. And so you have to play or you have to lose your way through it. And if that's your decision, that's your choice. You know, so you decide your outcome. Um, I'm. My outcome is to win. Is to be have a decent, good life, have a blessed family, move around the world, see things, get to know new experiences, new people, languages, enjoy life, live life. That's what I want. That's what I strive to do. What is yours? Let's continue.
But the bottom line is this: winners, players win. Remember when Buffalo was playing Houston in the 92 AFC Championship? They were down 38-3 at halftime.
Football now.
Well, get the fuck off my channel, punk. Kicking Buffalo's butt. They were waxing them. The average the average whiner you see in the comment section, women are the enemy. We can't get ahead because of white supremacy and systematic, institutionalized racism. They would have packed it in and said, you know what, we lose. No, Buffalo came back out and found a way to win. Players find ways to win. That's the difference between a winner and a loser. A loser loses before the game is even over. A lot of you cats who are upset at women firing off in the comment section, talking crazy, you're a loser. You're a loser because the game isn't over. The game is your life. You ain't dead. You can do something. The guys who were and we're going to talk about this today. The guys who are hardcore MGTOW, I see a lot of them going at pickup artists and dating coaches and all this other kind of stuff in the comment section. But the people who run the channels, let's just be realistic. The people who run the channel whose faces are front and center tend to be the winners, whether they're on MGTOW or whether they're on the player side. And here's the thing. I don't care if you are a hardcore MGTOW. Life is still a game. You need it. You need to get out there and deal with everything else. But how you play the game dictates whether or not you're going to win or lose. A lot of cats today are just running around losing, and you're claiming MGTOW. You're claiming all these different things. You're claiming gynocentrism, white supremacy, all this other kind of stuff to justify or validate why you suck. I'm going to say that again. If you're holding on to red pill, MGTOW, white supremacy, gynocentrism, all these other buzzwords to justify and validate why you suck. If none of those things existed, you'd find another reason. Kittens are against us. The roaches are rebelling. The fleas are, you'd find a reason. Losers have always found, losers, quitters, people have always found a way to justify losing. Now, I'm going to chime in specifically on black men. Black men got this really bad because we have been history's losers in these states. But guess what? If you overweight, undereducated, don't care about your image or impression, don't care about how you come across, can't talk to anyone, can't communicate, speak like in Ebonics, you loser. What defines a loser in your eyes? That's the point. It's not a matter of defining a loser in my eyes. How about this? Look at your results. Look at your results. And instead of saying, well, what defines a loser in your eyes? Someone who has who has a scarcity mentality, someone who always believes that the glass is half empty, somebody who comes in here questioning. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to be rude, but that's not even a question a winner would ask. Straight up. A winner wouldn't ask what defines being a loser. Winners don't concern themselves as losers. That's why they keep winning. All they do is win. The reason you hear me talking about it is because I try to help men who are on the verge being able to go between winning and losing. Most of my clients are winners. I don't have to go talk. I mean, not most, all my clients are winners. I'm not going to lie. I don't have to tell a man, you need to worry about your image, such and so forth, and take advantage of that. Most of my clients have attorneys, they have business coaches, they are achievers. You don't have to tell someone with a winning mindset, your game is weak here. You need to go practice on your free throws. Your game is weak here. You need to go practice on your 40 time. Your game is weak here. You need to go practice on your math. When I was a C student in mathematics, no one had to tell me, guess what, Kevin? If you want to be an engineer, you got to double down and go learn and do what you did. You need to come to school early, stay after school late. My freshman year in college, my background is chemical engineering. My freshman year in college, while everybody else was taking calculus, I had to take college algebra. I spent 35 hours a week studying college algebra, doing the homework assignments, looking at last year's tests, working with tutors, all this stuff out of my own pocket, making $3.35 an hour. I went and got a job at Taco freaking Bell to go pay a tutor. You know why? Because it was my name on the test. It was my life. It was about me. Yeah, if I would have made a C in college algebra, I could have taken the easy path. I failed classes before. I failed calculus. But you know what I did? I didn't blame anybody. I said, dude, your calc game sucks. You don't understand. I didn't go whine and blame my single mother, my absentee father. I didn't blame white people. I didn't blame the women that broke my life. I said, you know what? Dude, you got to get better. If you say you want this, you want to be an engineer, you got to do what it takes. Not question why. Well, why I got to take calculus to be an engineer. Maybe you're new. So here's the thing. When I'm talking about something, if you got a question that's off the topic and you want me to respond to it, gladly hit the super chat button. Put something in that question. $1, $2, $5. If you got a question you want to ask me about a fragrance or something like that, I'm not talking about that. If you want me to get off the topic, do that. That's what super chat's for. So tonight, we're going to talk about winners and losers. Players win. Yeah, players win. They don't always win, but they win enough to call themselves winners. There's something that was said, it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's how you play the game. True. But it doesn't matter if you win or lose, how you play the game. But if you lose long enough, you are a loser. Green Bay Packers have a history of being winners from the 60s on through. Dallas Cowboys, history of being winners. Pittsburgh Steelers have a history of being winners. You have the opposite side of the coin, too, in the NFL. History of being losers. Why? You got the same talent, same draft picks, same opportunities, but losing is a mentality. Losing is a lifestyle. Losing is a mindset. You can change around and decide you want to win. The first thing you got to stop doing is bitching and complaining about everybody else, arguing about what's the white supremacy, women, such and so forth. Look at yourself and say, you know what? I'm overweight, undereducated, but performing below my ability. Women don't holler at me because I ain't even a man.
Yeah, women don't holler at you because of your stats, what you just named off. If your stats like that, inequality woman is not going to talk to you. She's going to read you right away. She's going to like, whoop. No. And then she can see your potential. If you start diving towards your potential, as you said, if you wake up and you start checking off them check box of all the things that you're weak in, your weak areas, you start strengthening them areas and putting time and interest and effort into those spaces to 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 improve and to rise your overall value, you'll get more attention towards it from women and the women that you desire. So that's up to the individual. So Kevin Simmons hitting on some real, KS is hitting on some real solid information, and if you pay attention to him, you can get a lot from this. He haven't said too much that I don't disagree with. You talking about the red pill, and basically when he's talking about, yeah, I agree with the red pill is basically what men used to be when I grew up, And now the last 40 years, there's been a lot of changes since the 80s, late mid 80s. There's been some changes, but yeah, I can see the changes. Even in college, I can see the changes in the coursework and what people present, and then the seriousness of the professors and the students. I had professors say to me, I'm not gonna say who or what institution, but said, yeah, y'all can do less work. I'm like, well, what you said on your syllabus this, but well, everybody don't want. I was like, well, I'm following your syllabus, and you said it's 5 to 7. The professor said, well, everybody don't want to do that, so I'm gonna reduce it down to 3. It don't make sense because what you put in your syllabus, you felt that 5 to 7 is enough paperwork, writing words per page to qualify to see if we could attain the knowledge that you're trying to teach us throughout these 10 weeks or 15 weeks semester or a quarter system, and now you're reducing it. So what you felt originally your syllabus, how you address your syllabus to the knowledge that we're supposed to gain, we're not going to gain it at the level that you pres presented your syllabus to, as far as the the structure, as far I'm trying to say the right word for what they call it in college, your comprehension, the comprehension level of the material. You need to move to the next course that's higher. You want to be able to understand enough information and gain enough knowledge to be able to apply to the higher class that you're going to next. Let's say you take political science 101. When you take political science 102, they want you to know there's enough information. So as they expand on 102, you have enough to gravitate and grab the next level of knowledge. If you get short and you pass in 101, you're at 102, then it's reduced down and it's gonna be harder. So you'll be struggling just to get through the class instead of going through the coursework to learn and build on your building blocks. So you putting yourself in a lower level situation. And then I told the professor, I explained it to him. He said, "Well, Frenchie, if you want to do that, give me 5 to 7. If you want to stay by the standard syllabus." I said yes because I feel that's in your rubric. Your rubric for learning in your syllabus. You wrote all this down for the 10 weeks: the books, the quizzes, the tests, the comprehensive points, the competencies that we're supposed to achieve. All this is milestones to keep reaching objectives and goals throughout your syllabus. Is that correct? He said yes. I said, okay, therefore, if I reduce it, then I can't know where I can meet that milestone because that's within the original context of your syllabus. Correct? He said, yes. I said, well, why would I want to reduce it? I'm paying for the knowledge. I paid for this knowledge that you're supposed to render to me. Why would I do it to find? Why would I reduce it? And I'm basically giving free money away. My dollar, my money is expensive. I need value. He said, you're right. And he said, you can do 5 to 7. I will grade your 5 to 7. I said, thank you very much. That's the mentality of a winner. That's the mentality of a winner. I'm gonna let nobody shortchange because the group want to be lazy. And I'm not gonna hate on them. That's their choice. But that ain't my choice. I'm standing on mine. I'm not letting no group stand for me or get in front of me. I'm standing on what I want to learn and grow and develop while I'm here in this institution. And it's going to advance my skill set to see things differently, to calculate things differently, to learn knowledge that I didn't know before. No, I'm paying for that new knowledge. I'm paying for the excellence. So if that's not you, that's your choice. But you're not going to put me in your bubble at all. And I'm not going to hate on nobody. I'm going to stand on mine. And that's the mentality of a winner. Let's continue.
Why should anybody want to respect me when I don't even carry myself with a modicum of respect? You need to get yourself together. That's why it doesn't matter. Money, looks, all this other stuff, that only comes into consideration after you're first a man. A man cares about himself and carries himself according to a standard. When I'm in a business meeting today, I walked in there looking like I look because this is my standard. No one else's, my standard. I have a standard. I hold myself accountable because I'm a winner. I win at everything I do, and even when I lose, I win. Because you can lose the game, you can lose the point, but don't lose the lesson. Do something, lose, learn, lose better. But I am so sick of men whining all the goddamn time. Bring your ass to these channels to listen to all this good knowledge, and I still see you talking about the same shit in the comment section. Go away. Because it ain't the women who are having the problem. It is you. You. You could take all the fat, ugly broads and move them to the side. Women only follow what the men do. And that's where we have a real problem. Because as men, we know we got an issue. And if you're a loser, you know you're a loser. And you hate hearing people talk about losing stuff. I had a couple of patrons quit becoming patrons of the channel. Not because I don't deliver quality information, not because the content isn't on point. They left because I talked about men need to drop the Jordans. Yeah, I'm gonna say that again. I had grown damn men sit back and say, man, I can't be a patron of somebody who speaks out against Jordans. Get the fuck out.
Okay, we're gonna stop there. I think he has a lot of good content. I'm gonna be mindful of this. It's different. Mindful of my channel. I think there's a lot here, and if you want to watch the whole full content, it's like 27 minutes. This is a reaction video. I just want to hit some key points that he was talking about, and I think we got enough of the key points and the reaction. And he has some good quality, the winners versus losers, and you got to understand that that's a reality, and people are not focused on that reality. They just want to be comfort with how they feel. He actually, when my reaction previously, he just came back and replayed, said the same thing I was saying from the previous reaction sector, the reaction sector that I was dealing with, the 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes that I was dealing with. And he actually came back and reiterated what I just basically said. So we're actually in tune. We actually flowing in line. We're parallel, uh, basically parallel. Uh, so I really like this. I think it's going to help a lot of people um, move forward and look at themselves and put a mirror up to their face and be able to see what they want to achieve and how they want to move forward in their lives. Because no one's going to do it for you. It's up to you. And you can remain in the loser circle. That's your choice. But you want to be 60 years old, as one of my favorite motivational speaker, Les Brown, said. You don't want to be parked. You want to find yourself 60 years old and parked in life, and you get off the highway of life, or the freeway of life, and the boulevard of life, or the avenue of life, and you just park because the things got hard, things got uncomfortable, things got whatever. You want to be able to get into life and enjoy this life while you're here on this planet and do something positive. So this is the good way to understand. Get out the loser circle, get back over to the winner circle, because we're all inherently winners, because we're all inherently made in the image of God. So it's up to you to take this knowledge and move forward. I hope you take this knowledge and apply it to your life and understand there are winners and losers, and it's up to you which direction or which lane you want to be in. It's your choice. It's free will. And I wish you the best. Leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel. And let me know what you think. This reaction video on Cammy Samuels um, about winners and losers in life. Have a wonderful day. I hope this got some out of this content. Yes, sir. We out of here.